My name is Tom Squalo and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk all things trading, finances and money in general. And in this particular video, we're going to talk about when is Bitcoin finally go to a new all-time high and what are we waiting for. We've spoken about the inflation before, etc., but there are a few more interesting things I really want to discuss so you really understand the big picture. And also we'll talk about the current setups and the price targets and all the trade setups that I mentioned in the previous video yesterday. And if you haven't seen it, please do check it out. They didn't come to fruition, but at least we didn't lose any money, so that's good as well. So no lost money, no trades is sometimes very good news. So anyway, if you haven't seen it, check it out. And also we're going to talk about why Bitcoin in general, as grand scheme of things, how the big money is approaching Bitcoin and why it's considered to be an asymmetrical bet. And if you're into cryptocurrencies, into investing, you must know these things, because if you don't know these things, you're not a really serious investor or a trader, and you should quit this job in general. So stay tuned, very important video, watch it from the beginning and until the end. And as always, if you are brand new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so that you're always notified when I make a new upload, because these uploads are important and you have to watch them as soon as they come out. And as always, there is a link to my free Telegram channel down in the description of this video so that you're always notified when the market is on the move. And sometimes I quickly post some interesting trades in there and we all make very good money there. So join it right now and let's get right to it. And so what we are starting with today, guys and girls, is the US crude oil. So US oil for us is very expensive because we all know that we have seen an incredible rise from it actually plummeting down to zero. We are seeing an incredible rise right now, which peaked at about $130 per barrel, which is absolutely incredible. But what we are seeing right now, and of course, why is this important? Because we've had so many bad things happen this year. And for example, with the war in Ukraine, we have a lot of, it's contributing to the food shortage because Russia and Ukraine is a huge producer of wheat, etc. So it's all, intertwined all together. But there are certain aspects that we have to pay attention to right now that could actually start easing up at some point that will give us a roadmap for the next huge bull market in high-risk assets, and we'll get to it in just a second. So, of course, high oil prices, when people cannot pay for gas, it becomes quite bad for high-risk assets because there is less money for investing into the market. So what we are seeing right now is actually that the oil price has gone from 123 in this region right here, and it has gone all the way, let me just adjust it, just like that, and it has gone all the way down to like 100, and so it was just rejected by $100 level, and now we are currently retesting this support that has been very important for us, and we broke below it in 2021 only, and then in 2022 we have always stayed above it. So right now, if we can actually break below, this is going to give us some relief in the markets. And if we're going to take a look at some important stuff right here, which has to do a lot with crude oil, we'll scroll down, we'll see that OPEC have been gradually restoring supply, and it's going to be seen in this chart below. By August, the last of the production cuts made back in 2020 is expected to be rolled back, bearing an escalation of tensions between Russia and the West. It seems that the tide may be turning for crude oil. With that in mind, what are key levels, blah, 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 blah. So we could potentially, and this, again, I studied crude oil quite a bit here and all the geopolitical tensions, etc., and what's happening on a macro scale. And I'm not going to bore you to death with the details. There are many factors at play here. But overall, if we're going to see the crude oil finally roll over and finally is going to give us a much awaited correction and is going to bring down the fuel costs, that in turn is going to deeply affect things like the CPI that we've seen last month that actually came out absolutely terrible. So, and it came out terrible. Once again, if we're going to go down to this reading right here, we'll see that it came out terrible because of the energy costs and especially the fuel costs, the gasoline. So when this is going to come down, so that means that the actual energy costs and the fuel costs are going to come down, and in the CPI, and therefore you could say that the inflation is going to start coming down as well, just in the official numbers. And that in turn might mean that Fed is going to say, oh look, we are fighting inflation really well, so now we can start finally quantitative easing at some point later this year or next year. So this is something that really we have to pay attention to, and that's the oil. out of many other things as well, of course. So this is a very important aspect that is going to be driving, which is going to be a huge catalyst for us. And by the way, guys and girls, before I continue, I wanted to remind you about the big giveaway that the BitGet is doing. And if you used my link to sign up with BitGet, because we're doing a lot of cool copy trading on BitGet, and it's actually working really well as a passive income source. And I'll link them, link to a tutorial of BitGet copy trading that you can actually learn how to do it all yourself. And if you've used my link down below in the description or in the pinned comment and signed up with BitGet, you automatically got distributed insane prizes. And those prizes are automatically, if you simply use my link, you get $5 credited to your account. You also get 10% futures refund. So when you move your money from spot account to derivatives for copy trading, for example, if you want to do copy trading on BitGet, then you'll get 10% refund. And also you can claim up to $5,000 in deposit bonuses. And all of those bonuses for all the people that signed up in the last week or so just got credited yesterday. So go over to BitGet if you opened an account using my link. Then go to the reward center, which is reward center right here, as you can see, and claim your bonuses. They were just credited to your rewards center. And as always, we're going to be doing these once a week. So use my link right now to BitGet. Sign up, get up to $5,000 in deposit bonuses. They are real. They just credited a bunch of money to people who used my link and use their copy trading or their futures in general. It's a great exchange, and that's where I'm going to be trading actively myself as well very soon. Okay, let's move back here. So as the whole oil situation is going to slow down and potentially going to finally see some easing of the tensions in Russia and Ukraine, and finally we're going to see some kind of deal making, then this food shortage thing is also can at least slow down a little bit, and that's going to affect, as I said before, the actual inflation, and that's when the Fed is going to actually say that they did a good job, when in reality some of the macro factors have changed. So for that reason, once we're going to see this kind of an event happening, this is when finally the Fed is going to turn their money printer on, and this is when all the high risk assets finally will find their bottom, which I think the bottom is still not yet, by the way, but it's still okay to trade it up and down, but I think that the bottom is still not in. And once that's going to happen, this is going to give us this catalyst event, which I'm going to use, and I'm going to keep you guys updated. So subscribe right now and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a single upload, and let me know down in the comments about all the profits that you've been making with my trades. That would be awesome. So let me know down in the comments, or just make some noise for me down in the comments anyway. So in this instance, let's go to a smaller time frame right here before we get into the reasons why some analysts are saying that Bitcoin is actually an asymmetrical bet. And currently, this is a trade setup that I've mentioned to you in the previous video. There was this very interesting wedge because we have this very important support, the yellow one, and we broke below it. Then we retested it right here, and I was telling you that if we're gonna see a breakdown from this wedge, this would be a beautiful short trade, but it didn't happen. It actually shot upward from 21,400 all the way up to 21,750 or so, and it got rejected from it again. And actually this was a beautiful short trade using a simple false break model, but I missed it. I wasn't at my computer. So, but that's what, if you've taken this false break and you've actually writing it down, that was real nice. So right now what is happening is we had some power going on, a little bit of volume, but again, it's quite slow right now. And we're currently meeting resistance at this, which used to be a resistance here as well. So to be honest, quite frankly, just in general, if we look at it, it's just doing really nothing. So it's slowing down. And for me, I'll just keep my eye out on the macro factors that are happening right now. So for all the brand new trade setups, I'll definitely let you know in the coming videos and also in the Telegram channel. But for the time being, what I really wanted to mention in a bigger scale is why a lot of people are saying that Bitcoin is an asymmetrical bet. And for me to explain it, we need to analyze an investment opportunity in the right way to figure out, whether it's an asymmetrical bet or not. And what we need is to understand what is the potential upside of any given trade or an investment. So like with Bitcoin, it's potentially $1 million per Bitcoin in the next 10, 15, 20 years. Now, the next thing is, how long will it take to reach that upside target? With Bitcoin, we already know it's all very fast. How likely is it that the target will be reached during that time frame? Where is the downside at which I should take my losses? How likely is it that we'll hit that downside level, and how much am I willing to lose on that trade? So proper risk and money management, very simple stuff, but just applied to long-term investing rather than trading. And I've always, and there is a big description of all the percentages of how it all works out, etc. Blah blah blah. Factoring in the potential for Bitcoin to go to zero. If something, all the countries in the world come out and ban it all at once. And then maybe it could die, maybe. So, but for that we can give like maybe at the most, being very, generous, we could say that it's a 1% chance. But even I think at this point with what's happening is like 0.01% chance. But let's keep it a 1% chance. And then the potential downside is 1%. And if you don't use leverage, then the chance of you losing all your money that you've invested is 1%. And the potential upside is, let's say, a $1 million at some point in the next 10, 15, 20 years, or maybe even 10 years. So for that reason, it's really an asymmetrical bet, even knowing how fast it's developing and the adoption curves that we're currently seeing. So for that reason, why I decided to put it out there, to just show you that out of all the assets currently out there in the market, Bitcoin is the most asymmetrical bet. And for sure, accumulating Bitcoin at these price levels is absolutely incredible. And for me, I'm just getting ready for it to be in these two areas, somewhere in between 10 and 14K and 14K and 20K. This is where a lot of my money is going to be going into top cryptocurrencies, top altcoins, Ethereum. A lot of money is going to go into Ethereum and also Bitcoin for sure. I'm going to link a BitGet tutorial right here so you can learn how to do copy trading on BitGet or how to use BitGet in general. And you can always also claim those insane bonuses. They're going to be distributed once a week. So use my link to BitGet right now and claim up to $5,000, five guaranteed dollars to your account, and also guaranteed 10% refund, and also a $50 bonus for those of you who get up to 50,000 in volume of traded in derivatives. So which is easy to really get to. Stay smart, stay rich, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.